yoko guruma. If you try throwing your opponent with an uranage as he comes at you, he defends himself by twisting. Put your right foot between both his feet at that moment and throw, sacrificing yourself. Here the opponent's hanegoshi is turned into this technique. Here's the way to apply it, following on from taneotoshi. The moment your opponent bends forward to defend himself against taneotoshi, then you follow with this. Soto makikomi. In Soto makikomi, hold your opponent's arm under your arm, step in close with your hips, then turning, throw him over your body in a wrapping motion. Place your hip close to the opponent to use as an axis in the throw. This is the basic principle of Soto makikomi. Placing your hip next to your opponent, but not so deep, and throwing him. This is also Soto makikomi. Here's Soto makikomi, where you first step in with your feet. You can also step sideways in a large motion outside your opponent's right foot to wrap him around. When applying hanegoshi or harai goshi, your opponent may defend himself by holding close to you. It may be possible to throw him using the wrapping technique. Uchi makikomi. Uchi makikomi is similar to ippon seoi nage. Grasp your opponent by the arm and twist sideways to wrap him around you. Use your hip as an axis, twist and throw in a wrapping motion. This is the basis of uchi makikomi. Here's Uchi makikomi, where you step out on your right foot to set it up. Here's Uchi makikomi after you've made your opponent retreat. Here you follow on from ippon seoi nage. The moment your opponent defends himself by turning away, you grasp his neck with an arm and pull, wrapping him around you. We distinguish between seoi nage and uchi makikomi by whether you carried your opponent on your shoulder or simply wrapped him around you as you controlled his arm. Hane makikomi. In Hane makikomi, you throw in a wrapping motion as you lift your opponent up with hanegoshi. There are two methods of executing this throw. The first is to lift up your opponent and wrap him around you as you grasp him by the arm. The second method is to lift your opponent up with hanegoshi, then wrap him around you. There's a difference in the timing of when you take hold of your opponent's arm. In this case, the opponent's collar has simply been grasped and he's not been wrapped around. This is hanegoshi, not hane makikomi. Harai makikomi. In harai makikomi, you lift your opponent up using harai goshi, then throw, wrapping him around you. There are two ways to throw. In the first method, lift up your opponent and wrap him around you as you grasp him by the arm like this. Another method is to lift your opponent up with harai goshi, then place his arm under yours to wrap him around you. There's a difference in the timing of when you grasp your opponent's arm. Again, in this case, the opponent's collar has simply been grasped and he's not been wrapped around. This is harai goshi, not harai makikomi. Watch this breathtaking harai makikomi as executed by Sumio Endo at the World Championships in Paris. Uchimata makikomi. In Uchimata makikomi, you lift your opponent up using Uchimata, then throw, wrapping him around you. There are two ways to make the throw. The first is to lift up your opponent and wrap him around you as you grasp him by the arm. The second method is to lift your opponent up with Uchimata, then wrap him around you and throw. Please observe carefully the timing of grasping the opponent's arm under yours. Sumio Endo performs Uchimata makikomi at the All Japan Judo Championships.